got this feeling on the summer day, the summer day. I got that summertime, summertime sadness. Summertime.
And I met you in the summer. I sit by myself, talking to the moon. You wanna go, I can take you there.
Another day and another adventure, but this definitely isn't a walk for the faint-hearted. In actual fact, it's more of a climb, but it's all worthwhile because when you make it to the top, you might be out of breath, but you'll be rewarded with one of the wonders of the ancient world. Welcome to Sycamore Gap on Hadrian's Wall. Built in 122 AD to annex the barbarian Scots from the Roman province of Britannia. Today it runs between modern-day Carlisle and Newcastle in the north of England, and many will recognise this iconic spot from the Kevin Costner film Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. It's a lasting testament to Roman engineering, and it is utterly breathtaking.
I walk in like a timepiece. I go straight to VIP.
Another day and another hidden gem. Welcome to New College in Edinburgh, Scotland. Also known as the School of Divinity, not only does it sound like it's something from a Harry Potter movie, but it looks like we're on the set of Harry Potter itself. It's absolutely breathtaking. And they even have their own statue of Dumbledore. Well, it's actually John Knox, who in the 16th century was one of the leading figures in the Protestant Reformation in Scotland. Only 100 metres from the Royal Mile in the heart of old Edinburgh, and so many people just walk by this beautiful place. Stunning. For centuries, visitors to this place have hammered coins into the old trees as wishes. Welcome to the Hermitage near Duncan in Scotland. It's easy to see why they left so many coins and made so many wishes, because this place is like something from a fairy tale. In the distance, the old rumbling bridge which dates back to the 1770s, and perched high upon the cliffs is Ossian's Hall of Mirrors, with views over the Black Lin waterfalls. If you come here in the autumn, you'll see the wild Atlantic salmon jumping up the waterfall to get to their spawning grounds upstream. And this place is absolutely magical, and it's Scotland at its very best. Simply gorgeous.
You can't stop the tears from falling down.
Welcome back to Dunnottar Castle and the central quadrangle and courtyard. This building is the chapel, and it's here in 1297 that William Wallace is said to have imprisoned the English garrison, having captured the castle from them and burned them to death. The other three ranges of buildings served as private residences for important castle employees and also for visitors. Above was a gallery and a banqueting hall for entertainment. This water-filled circular feature is called the Cistern, and it was essential to the castle's survival. It captured rainwater and is almost 8 metres in depth, allowing the castle to hold out during a siege. The water was brewed into an ale to purify it in the castle's basement brewery, which removed the risk of disease. The downside was that the inhabitants were mildly drunk most of the time, including the children. But it is absolutely gorgeous. Welcome to the stunning central courtyard of Lin Lithgow Palace in Lin Lithgow, Scotland. Following the Great Fire of Lin Lithgow in 1424, construction of this incredible building began under King James I to create a grand residence for the Catholic Stuart monarchs and also a future birthplace for King James V and his daughter, Mary Queen of Scots. In 1538, King James V had this incredible fountain constructed. Carvings included mermaids, mythical beasts and unicorns as a stunning centrepiece. In 1745, Bonnie Prince Charlie visited the palace on his way south to invade England with his Jacobite army, and the fountain flowed with red wine in his honour. Barely 4 months later, the Duke of Cumberland and his government army stopped here on their way north to engage Bonnie Prince Charlie at Culloden, stripping the building and burning this once great place. The sea mist rolling in through the doorway definitely adds to the spookiness of this place. Welcome to the haunted basement of Dunnottar Castle in Scotland. This building with its vaulted roof housed 3 rooms. This first room was for storage of flour and barley. The next room is the brew house, where rainwater was brewed into ale to purify it. The last room, however, was the bakery, and it's also the most haunted building in the castle. Many visitors have reported uncanny feelings and sightings of a sad-looking woman dressed in green, and it's tradition to leave a flower in the hope of raising our spirits and making it out safely. And I'm certainly not a fan of coming here on my own. Welcome to the ruins of Dunnottar Castle, near Stonehaven in the northeast of Scotland. Scotland has over 3,000 castles, and for me, this one has to be the most beautiful and the most atmospheric of all. But what do you think? Which is your favourite and why? And more importantly, who wants to see what it looks like on the inside? Welcome to the ruins of St Andrew's Cathedral in Fife, Scotland. Construction of this incredible cathedral began in 1158, and it took 160 years to complete. But once finished, it was the greatest cathedral in Scotland, and this is the grand western door. It was through here that King Robert the Bruce rode on his white horse when the cathedral was consecrated in 1318. Quite the entrance. It's incredible to think how this now ruined cathedral would have once looked, with a huge vaulted ceiling supported by massive columns and twin towers at the eastern and western ends. Unfortunately, in 1559, the Catholic cathedral was ransacked during the Protestant Reformation, and the stone was robbed to build the present town. But it is absolutely gorgeous. Welcome to the beautiful ruins of Dunnottar Castle, near Stonehaven in the northeast of Scotland. Without doubt, one of the most beautiful castles in Scotland, especially when it's surrounded in sea har, like this morning. Before we go in for a closer look, from up here, you realise not only how beautiful it is, but how difficult it would have been to attack. Dunnottar sits on steep cliffs surrounded by the sea on 3 sides, and only one narrow causeway allowing entry. Even if you manage to make it this far, you're funnelled towards a tiny entrance with arrows and rocks raining down on top of you from the defenders above. It's an incredible place, absolutely beautiful. Welcome to the Corpach Shipwreck near Fort William in the Highlands of Scotland. Washed up on the shores between Loch Linnhe and Loch Eel is the beautiful old fishing boat known as the MV Dayspring. In 2011, she broke her moorings during a storm, running aground here and this hidden gem has become a photographer's dream. In the background you can see a snow-capped Ben Nevis, Scotland's highest mountain, framed perfectly by this old wreck and the crystal clear waters of the loch. It is absolutely gorgeous, and even an amateur like me can produce some half decent photographs.
That's me, and that's my best friend, and this is our Thailand itinerary. We arrived in Bangkok, where we stayed in Hanoi Hostel for $4 a night. Day 2, we went to the Grand Palace, Temple of the Reclining Buddha, then ate some pad thai and scorpions at Khao San Road. Day 3, we did a bit of shopping, and at night went to the rooftop bar. Day 4, we took a plane to Chiang Mai for $22. And day 5, we went to the Elephant Jungle Sanctuary. Day 7, we went to a Thai food cooking class, and day 8, we had a blast in the Grand Canyon inflatable obstacle course. Day 9 to 11 was just taking buses, minivans, and ferries till we got to Koh Tao, where we spent day 12 through 15 to get our official scuba diving license for $362. Day 17 and 18 we took a ferry and a van to Phuket. Day 19 we went ziplining. Day 20 we went wakeboarding. Day 22 we went to Krabi, where we spent day 23 in Railway Beach. Day 25 we went to the Krabi Hot Springs. Day 27 we took a plane to Singapore. The total for 27 days in Thailand, including airfare, housing, activity, transportation, and food, was $1,467 each.
That's me, and that's my best friend, and this is our Indonesia itinerary. We arrived in Yogyakarta and stayed at a hostel for $5 a night. Day 2, we went to Pinus Panger. Day 3, we went to Borobudur Temple. And day 4, we took a plane to Bali. Day 5, we took a bus to Ubud, where we stayed in a really nice Airbnb. Then day 6, we got massages in Karsa Spa. Day 7, we rented a scooter to go to the monkey forest and explore around Ubud. And day 8, we got some food and then stayed in the pool in the Airbnb. Day 9, we took a bus and a ferry to the Gili Islands. Day 10 was a resting day, and Nicole had explosive diarrhea. Then on day 11, we rented some bikes to explore the island and go snorkeling. Day 12, we took a snorkeling boat tour around the other Gili Islands. Day 13, we went back to Bali and then went to an escape room. Day 14, we went to the water boom water park. And day 15, we took a plane to Cairns, Australia. The total for 15 days in Indonesia, including housing, activities, transportation, and food, was $516 with 18 cents each.
That's me, and that's my best friend, and this is our New Zealand itinerary. We arrived in Queenstown, where we stayed at a hostel for the first night for $12 each. Day 2, we picked up our camper van and headed to a camping site, but then some mice got into our van, and we realized van life wasn't for us. So day 3, we changed our van for our car, and then went bungee jumping for $125. And we kept driving, stopped at Lake Tekapo, and then kept going till Christchurch. Day 4, we drove from Christchurch to Kaikoura. Day 5, we swam with hundreds of wild dolphins for $180. Day 6, we drove from Kaikoura to Wellington. Day 7, from Wellington to Rotorua. Day 8, we did some sorbing for $65. On day 9, we went to the Mitai Maori village for $63. And day 10, we went whitewater rafting for $73. Day 11, we went to the Hobbiton movie set for $55. And day 12, we went to the underground glowworm caves. Day 13, we drove to Auckland. And day 14, we took a plane back home. Throughout the trip, we stayed in hostels that cost around $10 to $15 a night. Total for 14 days in New Zealand, including housing, activities, transportation, and food, was $1,866.
That's me, and that's my best friend, and this is our China and Hong Kong itinerary. We first arrived in Chengdu, where we visited the Panda Research Base and the New Century Global Center. On day 4, we took a bullet train to Hong Kong, where we stayed in a tiny hotel room for $19 a night. Day 5, we visited the Tian Tan Buddha. Day 6, we explored the city, watched the Avenue of Stars light show, and tried our very first boba tea. Day 7, we went to Victoria Peak for the best view of Hong Kong. And day 8, we visited Disneyland Hong Kong. On day 9, we had a blast in Ocean Park theme park. And day 10, we took a bullet train to Shanghai. Day 11, we went to the Luang Huan Temple, ate some dumplings, and walked around the city. Day 12, we went to the Natural History Museum and to Xiangdan District. Then, on day 13, we went to the Yu Garden and later all the way up to the top of the Shanghai World Financial Center. Day 14, we went to Disneyland Shanghai. Day 15 was a resting day, and day 16, we took a bullet train to Beijing. Day 17, we visited the Great Wall of China, and finally, on day 18, we took a plane from Beijing to Seoul. The total for 18 days in China, including airfare, housing, activities, transportation, and food, was $1,437 with 26 cents each.
That's me, and that.
Welcome to Kurus in Fife, Scotland. This beautiful 17th century village doubled as Cranesmuir in the Outlander series, with the red roofed tower house straight ahead serving as the witch Galas Duncan's house. And this beautiful wee cobbled square is where the village's Merkit Cross is situated. The stone pillar with a unicorn on top shows that Kurus was a royal borough able to hold regular merkits or markets, which allowed taxes to be raised and the village to prosper through trade with Europe. Looking onto the market square is Galas Duncan's house, her character playing a healer and a witch based on a true-life Galas Duncan from North Berwick, who was found guilty of witchcraft and executed in 1591.